Hey, it's time for some vector vocabulary. So, vector vocabulary word number one, position. Position. These are the various symbols that are used. X generally for horizontal motion, Y for vertical motion. R tends to be if there's radial motion involved, and that just means that there's some central point going away or towards it. And S is the traditional one used in a lot of physics textbooks. Side note, S from the Latin word stadium, which I understand was basically their mile. But position is where am I relative to 0. And that is a 0 right there. That's a 0 right there. Now, related to position, and often used interchangeably with position, and I'll do it sometimes too, but I try not to. I'm trying to break myself of the habit. Displacement. Displacement, there's the displacement if I put a rock into a glass of water, the water gets displaced. Displacement is moving, pushing something out of the way. But in terms of motion, displacement means where am I relative to my starting point? In other words, what is my change in position? So notice those are all the same symbols that I used for position. All the same, but with that triangle in front of it. And that triangle right there, the triangle means it's a capital delta, it's a Greek letter, but the triangle right there means change. That's a thing that'll pop up again and again. But displacement, where am I relative to my starting point? Now, if my starting point is 0, because I can choose 0 anywhere I want to be. If my starting point is 0, then displacement and position are the exact same value. That means magnitude and direction. Velocity. Now, velocity, the symbol right there, V, there's two different kinds we're sort of dealing with. This right here is average velocity. That means the displacement divided by time. Versus this right here, and this is known as instantaneous velocity. The symbols right here, it comes from math. It's a calculus thing. I am definitely not expecting you to be able to solve those type problems, but I'm just doing this because it's a whole lot easier than writing out instantaneous velocity. Now, velocity, the key thing is how fast am I going and in which direction? So again, speedometers tell you speed, they don't tell you velocity, at least none that I've ever seen. If I'm going 50 miles an hour east, that's a velocity. If I'm going 50 miles per hour, that's a speed. And the last big one is acceleration. Acceleration, there's the symbol for it over here. And it is the average acceleration and instantaneous acceleration. And this is the key here is how quickly is my velocity changing.